Hello everyone, welcome back to the Minecraft Forever World, Season 1. And there are a few developments, I suppose, as you'll notice right here in the door. But there are grander and larger developments in Minecraft as a whole. So there's been a new update, and you'll see what I mean by the changes on screen now. So not only is there a new update in terms of um, you know, the lighting and stuff like that, Um, there are some existing problems within my texture pack, and you can see it here. So, like this is why I use this texture pack. Is it's just so detailed. It's lovely. You can see the shape itself, we'll say, is quite simple, like rectangles here. But then the details here in the wood, I just really like it. It's more apparent here. Look, it actually varies texture to texture. So you've got like a U shape and a diamond. You've got like almost like an eye shape there. Maybe that one looks like a duck or a swan. Do you know what I'm saying? It's really, really nice. But every time there's an update, it falls behind. So as far as I'm aware, this is the original like base level texture pack for um the cherry sapling wood. And it is an eyesore. It's not just this is light brown and this is pink. It's two completely different kind of uh philosophies in terms of texture. So that's something we're going to run into an issue with in future if we ever get mods or add-ons and stuff like that, which I am planning on doing with the series. So you would have really, really high textured, pieces here, but then you come along and there's a new berry bush all of a sudden in this add-on that we're using, and it just doesn't line up, and you can't expect the texture pack to keep up with every update. But the thing I'm going to be most sad about getting rid of this texture pack, I've probably used this texture pack since I was, I don't know, 15, 16. And the thing I'm going to miss the most, I think, is the cobblestone. Is in normal Minecraft, I hate building with cobblestone, but this cobblestone is just so satisfying. Like it genuinely is cobblestone, like a cobblestone street. I grew up in a city or a town that has cobblestone streets, and this is just stunning. And then like it gets even better with the mossy. Like they've taken the original philosophy and just put accents on it, and it's just a phenomenal texture pack. Even the sandstone here is really nice. Really, really lovely. Um, but as I said, like here's another example. You've got this iron door, stunning birch door, which would be perfect for our elven kingdom. Like look how like elegant and elven this looks. You can just imagine it in a forest. And then there's this original texture pack. Like you can actually see the pixels, and that's just down to resolution. But we are going to run into this problem as we go forward. And again, I just want to highlight like how good the cobblestone looks. You'll see in a few minutes when I transition to the new texture pack. Think of what this looks like, or I'll put it up on screen, and then versus what it now looks like, in the new texture pack that we're going to use moving forward. Um, like I just love the detail. Like look at this. Like the item frames themselves are lovely, but like just it's just so nice. Like the one thing I don't like, so I did like something I like and something I don't like. I love this. I think it's so satisfying and just really nice. But I don't like the diamond sword, to be fair. Like it's one thing I don't mind getting rid of is I like the original diamond sword. And then like same here with the armor, I'm actually a bigger fan of the original armor, we'll say, rather than this textured armor. The iron armor in this pack is pretty cool. I'll just show it to you very quickly. Um, you actually have like it's essentially like a grill for the iron armor, and then the chainmail is quite cool itself. It actually does look quite good, and it's very unique. But it almost puts me off getting diamond armor when I play with my friends because I don't like how the diamond armor looks. Um, so yeah, like I'm really sad to be seeing this texture pack go. I've used it, it's like a comfort almost. I've used it for nearly 10 years now, more even I think, and you'll see what I mean. Like I think this is grounds alone. If we're trying to build something that we have a mismatch, it's just not going to work. And I could maybe go into the game files and fart around myself, like, take this, apply it to this, and change the hue so it's like pink, and update the game files and all that stuff. I don't even know if that's possible with Bedrock, but it'll be a nightmare because it's not just the wood, it's all the doors. It's as we get down, everything here is looking pretty good, but any kind of bushes, um, and the potions are a big thing. All the spawn eggs, they're a problem. Not that we'd be using them, but nonetheless, the ghast armor as part of this new update, the bundles, and then you'll see here what I mean by the potions. It's like these are really pretty textures. Like I really like them. I love all the different colors and just the whole feel of the texture pack. But we do have a mismatch here. And the signs here too as well are a good example. Um, so yeah, that's just it. But what I will do is I'll transition now to the new texture pack, and I've done it a few times already. I've like been humming and hawing about which way to go with this and like how to treat the series. And the more that I go back and over, the more I like the new shaders and like the old texture pack with the new shaders. So I'll do that now, and you'll see what I mean. So straight away, this gives me a bit of an ick. I can see the diamond armor off in the corner here, and I'm not too fond of it. But you know, the discrepancy is gone. The consistency, even just blending the wood, like this wood blends into this wood. If we were to try like shade stuff, if we were doing, I don't know, a mosaic or something like that, you could shade these in together and not have the texture like blaring up in your face. This is hideous. I don't even want to talk about this. After seeing what it was on the previous screen and then seeing it now, it just breaks my heart. Like for the cobblestone alone is the reason I use BD Craft. Um, I think the zombie agrees with me. Um, Same like the birch door. Like it used to be so stunning. These aren't too bad. Like the iron door, it is what it is. The copper door, whatever. I don't plan on using it. But this is absolutely heartbreaking just to see. Like I think BD Craft is kind of. Do you mind? I think BD Craft is a builder's pack. It leans towards the imagination and stuff. And yeah, again, look, it's just hideous. But that's not too bad. Like I get the idea, but it's just not as sharp. But to be fair, our diamond sword is back, and the diamond armor. I think it's just the lighting in the desert. It looks a bit yuck, but it's iconic. You know. So yeah, one thing we haven't looked at actually is the difference between torches and fire and stuff like that. So I might do that now. The first thing you'll notice obviously is like the torch in my hand. Look at the glow off it is very appealing. Um, and then as you get here, even my own shadow, watch the shadow cast as I come into the light. Um, the textures are simpler, of course, but the light is nicer. Um, even the light off the nether portal there and stuff. So yeah, just going through the different lights, the textures are what they are. Um, you know, but nothing too crazy. And if we come away, I think this is where it really shines. You know, that is I can see the appeal. And then we did sunset. If we do sunrise, stunning. You know, so I get it. I appreciate it. I hope that they'll blend the ability to have tracers with your texture pack. I really hope that's a thing. Maybe it already is with add-ons or mods, but that's another step ahead of us, and the problem will still persist between textures clashing. every time there's an update. So we'll jump into the Nether. This is pretty nice. It does feel very gloomy, and then the shroom lights, I think is what they're called. They really do give a glow. You can kind of trace the light sources. Rather than it just being a shiny block, you can actually see like up there, for example. Um, so look, I appreciate what it is, and with the intention of us getting mod packs, um, eventually, I think it's the right thing to do is to call it quits now. Um, so yeah, we'll jump back to the Forever World, and we'll drive on. Okay, so something a little bit different for this episode, showing you some nice visuals and stuff, some nice transitions. Um, and yeah, I don't know how long we'll play. It's quite late in the evening now. Um, I suppose this is a little experiment more than anything. I've been playing around with OBS quite a lot today. So I took today off work. I don't know if I mentioned that previously. Um, just I needed a day off basically. Work's been tough the last couple of weeks, and I wanted to use my time off to do something that I enjoy, which is playing games. But I wanted to look at OBS again, so I tried a couple of weeks ago to record two different audio streams, and that didn't work. So I was able to record the game volume, but no voice, so you couldn't hear me. I was chatting away to the game, and my voice wasn't recorded. So that was the first thing I did this morning, was I sorted that out, and it's worked. So you probably haven't noticed it too much, to be fair. Um, there haven't been many examples of where that's happened, I guess, where I've coughed or I've sneezed and I've cut the volume. If I've done it right, you won't hear it, obviously. But I wanted it to take a step further. Sometimes, or a lot of the time, I do these kind of time lapses, where I'm just like mindlessly mining down in the ground, and you guys don't want to watch that for 3 hours. So I get bored mining essentially, and I'd love to have YouTube on, or something like Spotify or something on in the background to keep myself entertained. A little bit of a podcast or something like that. So what I've done now with OBS is, um, yeah, that's better, I think. What I've done is I have assigned the recording stream. So I have two audio inputs. One is my voice, one is the game, and it is no longer just my desktop. So it is specifically Minecraft, which means I have YouTube running right now in the background. I'm watching BBC News, unfortunately. Some nasty stuff going on in the world today, but I'm able to watch YouTube and listen to my podcasts or whatever while I play Minecraft. So I won't do it all the time. Like, obviously, I'm finding it quite distracting right now to be playing the game, trying to talk to you guys, and also keep an ear out for YouTube. But like I said, when I'm mining, when essentially I want to record some footage, but I'm not talking, by all means, I can have Spotify or something on in the background, maybe an audiobook or something like that. So a lot of developments today. I'm quite proud of myself. I feel like a little bit I'd kind of plateaued with YouTube, and I was kind of just going through the motions of let's put out a video each week, rather than trying to learn and grow my skills. That's, in my opinion, perfectly okay as well, because it's better to do something than to do nothing. So we've spoken a little bit about mental health before. We've spoken a little bit about the gym and working out and stuff like that. And I think a lot of people fall into the pitfall trap of it's all or nothing. So if I don't go to the gym 3 times a week for a year, if I miss a week, then it's all for nothing, and I may as well get a takeaway and just stop going to the gym altogether. And that's really, it's not a constructive attitude to have, I think. with something like the gym. Um, if 5 days a week, if you give 70% 5 days a week, that's better than giving 100% 2 days a week. If my math is mathing. I'm sure it is. I'm sure that calculation is correct in my head. But you get what I'm saying. Every evening, or at least most evenings, what I try and do is I try to do 20 push-ups. I do a minute of sit-ups, like a round of sit-ups, and then I do 15 squats. And this weekend, for example, we were at Orla's friend's birthday. It was his 30th. So, the night that I had chicken and chips for dinner and had a couple drinks with Orla's friends, I obviously didn't do my push-ups when I got home. And I could get, I could criticize myself for that. I could be quite harsh on myself and be on my own case. Like, that's not good enough, man. Like, you're saying you want to be fit, and here you are eating chicken and drinking Guinness. It's like, yes, okay, but I also want to live my life. Like, I also want to have fun. My Orla's, like, our friend is only 30 once. So obviously at his 30th birthday party, I'm going to enjoy myself. So it's the same with YouTube. It's like, okay, the quality isn't great, the audio isn't great, my mic isn't great, but the alternative is that I do nothing. Um, I hang up, I hang up my gloves, as the saying goes. I'm like, this is no good. I'm not getting any views. The quality is poor. It's putting pressure on my weekly life, where I'm really busy with work. Sorry, the noise of the chest can be quite triggering. I just haven't worked out where everything is. It's been a little while since we've been here. Leather is going to be huge in the next few episodes. We'll put these in here for now, and we will use this while we're here. Bang, 12 more bread. So yeah, basically what I'm trying to say is I'm really proud of myself for today, where I tried to do the audio thing with OBS before and failed, and essentially lost an episode and felt a bit annoyed about it. But I got back on the horse. I took a day off work, and I was like, I'm going to use this day to be constructive, and I'm going to use my free time to learn something. And that's exactly what I did. And that's why right now I'm listening to some not very nice news on YouTube. I suppose there's a lot of world events going on at the moment. I'm sure you guys are aware of what's going on in the world when this releases. Hopefully it doesn't get any worse as of this recording. That's why I went to the house, to get a bloody pickaxe for this. I got distracted. But yeah, that's all. I'm happy now that I've got my 3 streams going. They seem to be working. I did a little audio trial, if you like, and it seemed to have worked. So yeah, it's all about progress. Progress is progress, whether it's a step a day, whether it's 1 meter up the mountain or 1,000 meters up the mountain, it's still progress. So yeah, well done me. Yeah, look, we are 7 minutes into this monologue, 8 minutes now actually. The video, the clips from earlier, they're already sitting at 15 minutes, I think, just from memory. So I don't want to push it too much farther, but I have had an idea and I want to see how it looks, because I haven't used leaves in a very long time in this game. But part of this world, part of this area, I should say, is that I want to incorporate some of the summer court from A Court of Thorns and Roses. And there's a stone fort in an island off Ireland, off the coast of Galway, is Inishmore. And there's a fort on Inishmore that's basically built on the side of a cliff. I'll put up an image on the screen now, just so you guys, those who aren't familiar, you can see what I'm talking about. But I was thinking, rather than doing a traditional farm with fences and cows and stuff like that, what I might do is build a similar kind of fort on this cliffside. So let's find a good place for it. Oh, that'll do. Make sure there's no mobs behind me. Even here, for example, let's see, where does the land actually taper in, or does it taper in? Okay, this is working out pretty well. So yeah, essentially, if you imagine the picture that I've put on screen, this is obviously the cliffside, where in Inishmore this is the ocean, and then there's an arc, if you like, a semicircle of stone that encompasses the fort, and I think that's what our cow farm, chicken farm, whatever you like, should be. And I think I'm gonna make it out of leaves. Um, I have some roses collected already, but because it's the summer court from A Court of Thorns and Roses, it's inspired by it at least. I want to have it all kind of, clean, so like stone brick walls. If we have to use walls, it'll be stone brick walls. Um, but leaves and flowers everywhere. Just vegetation everywhere, trees, and I don't want it to be wild. If you've read A Court of Thorns and Roses, what really struck me about Tamlin's court is that it's like picturesque and perfect, and like all very French, like the Palace of Versailles. It's organized. It's not like wild trees growing everywhere. Um, so I want to have a very kind of walled garden, kind of colonial estate vibe, if you get what I'm saying. And I think the roses will do that quite well. So yeah, we've got some leaves. How are we? We're 11 minutes in. Where have the roses gone? Need to get some item frames on the go. I think that's my issue. Yeah, these rose bushes here, because they're too high, we could incorporate them into the wall somehow, But yeah, look, we'll sleep for now, and then I might do 10 minutes of cutting leaves and building our arc and see how we go. It might not work, it might look terrible. The cows, we might find that the cows, when you hit them to get their leather and their beef, they just run off the cliff and die. Obviously, that's not ideal either. So, there's definitely a balance here. It's something I've never done in Minecraft before, but we'll see how it goes. See how it goes. Just even if it's just temporarily. How's our shears looking? They're not too bad. The only thing we need to be careful of with this is saplings, obviously. We don't want to take all these leaves and then end up with no saplings to replace the trees. Because I do not want to go back over there if I can help it. And that's something I haven't forgotten as well. In the previous episode we said we would do, if I have any dirt, I don't, unfortunately. We need to get bamboo. Bamboo is an issue. I want to build scaffolding. So we need to get that sorted too. See how this looks. Did I bring the roses in the end? I didn't. Foolish, foolish. So I think this might work just at a glance. What I'm trying to not do is impede this bridge here. I want to have a bridge come across both chasms or caverns. So I want this basically to be the medium between, bridge, arched bridge to the middle, arched bridge to the far side, and then either side of the bridge will be leaves or walls or whatever, to try give some sort of fortification. Now the fact that this is on a hill makes it a little bit more difficult, but I think we can manage. I think if we just do this. As long as it's too high, at least too high everywhere, then we should be fine, So gonna want to start to curl this in. And we're already running low on leaves, but anyway. Whoops. Yeah, I think this will work. I think this is going to look great. And what we can do is, like, basically, where there aren't leaves, we will build paths to weave it together, to really give a structured feel to it. So at the moment, it just looks like a load of, like, bushes in the middle of a field, which isn't what I'm going for. So let me just get some more leaves here, and I'll show you exactly what I mean. And hopefully some saplings, right? Doesn't look like it. We might actually keep that there. Whoops. And then it's 3. Excellent. So, or is it 2? Do we want 2 or 3? We want 2 because we need to get the cows in. So if I do this, actually, let's make it 3 high, make it more elegant looking. And I know that's wasteful there too. Well, if you say so, Mr. Cow, you can be the first in. So what I will do then is I will put fences here, double fence, and as far as I can see, this is all too high for them to escape, except here. So we'll drop that and we'll put that there. We'll fill this in just to keep some sort of uniformity. Yeah, we'll get rid of this. Bang. That's leaves there. That's all leaves there. Our poor sheep. Is there anything we can do to help this sheep? Come on, friend. Come to the light. There, look. It was meant to be. Risking everything for a sheep, man. Please, come on. Good lad. If that had been our first death on the channel, or the series, I would have been raging. Died falling to my death. Fell to my death trying to save a bloody sheep that I'm trying to farm anyway. So, yeah, look, see, he's trying. Do you know what? We'll fix that. And what we could do to make it a little bit nicer is put stone bricks under here, I think, under the leaves, so obviously you can see through to the grass. I think maybe some wood or some stone bricks under here would make it look, you know, and then stone bricks across here. Really give it that kind of proper, pruned, well looked after garden feel, if you get what I'm saying. So I think if we have one that shape and then one off into the trees, maybe for the cows, maybe this could be chickens and that could be cows. That's the vibe anyway. So I think that's where I'm going to leave it, guys. Just because I don't want the episode to be too long for you. Let's see, do we have any gates? We don't. And do we want spruce gates? We do. We're bougie like that, you know. So let's see if I can make a gate from memory. I like to... Oh, no, that's fences. It's hardly the other way around then, is it? I know I can do it the other way before you shout at me. Yeah, it is this way. Okay. We'll take 2, and we'll finish up just by putting these in place. It's turning night anyway. So yeah, I suppose I have been feeling a little bit not down about YouTube, but just as I said, I definitely felt like I kind of plateaued, a little bit of stagnation. I think particularly just with where the games are at as well. we're in Paleo Pines. We're still kind of not finding our feet, but we're not end game. And then obviously in Minecraft as well, um, we are very much at the start of our channel, or our series, I should say. I don't know if I like that. I think we'll get rid of it. But I think for sure, I think I might do it off camera. I think stone bricks under this would be very nice, um, to give it that just a little bit more pop. Um, and at some point as well, we need to figure out bees. So that's all in the coming episodes, guys. Um, I think taking this day off today for work has been really, really needed and really good for me. Um, I spent basically my morning recording a video game for my channel, and then when it was uploading, I started working on my airfix, which is something I don't think we've spoke about before. I build model aircraft and stuff like that every now and again, and I haven't done it in ages, so it was really nice to just chill out. That's very dark in there. That's cool. Um, yeah, first things first. Next episode, we're building a pickaxe because I was gonna mine this out to look into the cave. Sure, we can't even do that. But yeah, I will leave it here, guys. Thank you very much for listening. I'll catch you in the next one. And yeah, spread love, spread peace, especially in these kind of darker times. And look after each other. Bye for now.